get tired of the hope, and then the hope comes again.
Welcome to the Moho Session hashtag. We're taking it on the road.
Oh my goodness. Hello again. Cheers. Just hold on 1 second. DC always starts it when I'm not ready, but that's fine.
It's more natural.
I'm just going to just make myself at home. This is just
Yeah, absolutely.
relaxed chat. There's no things involved. This is episode 6, but it might not be 6 when it goes out, of the British Country Music Festival. 5 years old, and we've been having great conversations about music, country music, British country music, American country music. And I'm delighted and obviously very excited because I'm a bit fangirling right now. Because Foreign Affairs are here. So
Hello.
exciting.
Thanks for having us. Good morning.
Class, guys. My first introduction to you was actually my favourite song of yours, which is When the Hope Comes Again.
Oh, amazing. Okay. We are going to play that today.
Hopefully you'll play it acoustically too.
We can play that one.
Or you can play another one you feel, but there's just something about that song that I just particularly love, and that was my introduction.
Okay.
And now I kind of, for people that might not know Foreign Affairs, introduce yourselves and what brought you guys to music, because you're brothers as well. Which
Yes, we are.
There's like a familiar connection, which
Yeah.
when you guys
Yeah,
are
yeah.
tight on stage.
I started playing guitar when I was about 7 or 8, and I went off to study classical guitar at the Royal College of Music, and then I went to live in Brussels for a year at the Royal Academy and studied there at the Royal Academy, and that's when we started doing, before Zoom was a thing, we started doing Skype calls, me and Lawrence, because he's 5 years younger than me, and we started writing songs. Yeah, he's a little
Well,
bit-
not anymore. I mean, I used to. When we started.
Yeah. So we started writing songs over Skype whilst I was living in Brussels. He was back in Bristol, and it sort of developed from there, really. And then the reason we were called Foreign Affairs there wasn't anything saucy.
About to ask that.
Sorry, I got that before you.
Foreign, and I was what foreign about your affair.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's nothing saucy there. But I used to live in Brussels, not far from where the Foreign Affairs correspondents for the BBC would report back from whatever they were doing at the European Union. So I could see it from my halls. So I was like, Foreign Affairs, that would school like that. So that was it. That was the reason.
And it's stuck.
And it's stuck. Absolutely. Our dad tried to change it a few times. Didn't
Yeah, he did. The suggestions were dreadful, weren't they?
Yeah.
What would you have to give me the suggestions now when you go?
I think because it's Adam and Lawrence and then Purnell, and he said, "Why don't you call yourself Alp?" And we said that sounds like a ski brand.
Yeah. Our parents, I think it was like number 61 for a while, because that was the number of our parents' house. And I was like, that's ridiculous.
The suggestions weren't
It's
taken
ridiculous.
seriously.
And now they don't get involved in stuff like that.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
So there's two of you. So who, that in the music industry, there's lots of roles. Obviously, you know the roles that you need to do as independent artists.
Mm-hmm.
So who's the kind of networker? Who's the admin? Who's the one that kind of keeps you going when you're having bad days? And
I would say Adam is more the professional businessman out of the two of us.
he's the reply of the emailers. I mean, quite quick actually.
Yeah. But
He's
I'll
rapid with that.
I'll be on that. That was always my sort of role, and whipping into shape with all stuff business.
Are you the boss man then?
I can be a little bit. Can be a little bit. It's lead singer syndrome, though, isn't it? You know, you've got to let him do his thing. You know.
Do you know how you're kind of like family, but you also work together? So
Yeah,
there's a
absolutely.
lot of dynamics going on.
Yeah,
here.
yeah. We're so I do a lot of the business stuff. We're lucky that we've got a manager in the last sort of 4 years that also shares the load with us now. But yeah, so I'll do more of the management stuff. But Lawrence is also doing his bit for sure. But yeah, that's
So we were talking about like British country music. So how do you, or everyone else aside and British country music aside, how do Foreign Affairs define their sound? What was the vision for your sound? What landscape did you want to create?
We've been called a department store by.
Beg pardon?
We've been called a department store by the head of A&R, our publisher, came to watch us, and he came away from the gig and he said he's very Essex. He was like, "You two are like a department store. You do everything."
Yeah.
Which is, ever since we've said that, we kind of realised that we aren't really in one lane. We do a lot of different things.
Department store
Yeah.
music.
Yeah. I don't know what department
That's a new
store.
one. That's
Yeah.
a new one.
But he was waiting at our dressing room door as soon as we came off stage. He was like, "Let me in."
Yeah.
I was like, "Right, okay, here we go." And
Yeah.
that's when he said it.
So we're a department store apparently of genres.
But something worked because he offered us another contract.
Yeah.
So, that was, so it must be all right.
Yeah. But it really is like blues and indie with a bit of Americana and country. We grew up, Adam especially grew up listening to Americana and country music, and still does.
Yeah.
And then my influence on that is the more bluesy and indie stuff.
See, I know I said this to you, I don't know if you've listened to them, but you remind me very much of the Dunwells.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe you said that to me a few other
Because those two are brothers, like Joe and Dave, they're
Yeah.
both brothers, and they're kind of like, they're just kind of reminiscent of each other. I'd love to see the four of you together
Yeah.
jamming. That would sound
Yeah, I
awesome.
think like you said before, they do a lot of songwriting for people as well, don't they?
They do.
Yeah.
They've just been signed with Simon Cowell's label.
Wow.
Actually, at the moment,
Nice.
to do some songwriting and publishing. But yeah, you're very reminiscent of them.
Amazing.
Just like
Oh, cool.
because they're brothers and because they're harmonising, they're just
Yeah.
they're just very reminiscent of that. So what made Foreign Affairs, or both of you, fall in love with music? What does music give you? What does like songwriting give you without all the admin and business and all that?
For me, it's just like a way to express what I mean, I don't write any of the lyrics. So the way that I write parts of our songs is very much like because I was trained classically, as you say, but I'll almost write my lyrics through a melody line on the guitar rather than just strumming chords. A lot of the time I'll play some, things like that, and then Lawrence will go, well, we can't put that into a song, that's ridiculous. So he'll take the melody.
Your brother would just tell you straight.
There's one that we had that's going to go on the album, and I played it to him for the first time, and he was like, what is that? And I had to convince him. So the way that I phrase stuff on the guitar is sometimes a little bit too much. So then Lawrence just takes it back and goes, this is how I'm going to put a melody line to it. So I express, short answer, long answer there, but short answer is I love playing the guitar to express, basically.
You can always hear the songs that we've written together and I've written on my own, because when he's involved, they're much more musically intricate. And when I write them on my own, it is more, the kind of weight is on the vocal and the melody and the lyrics. And then when we write songs together, it's about exploring. Like this new song called Magic Box, which is on the album, it is mental. It's like different time signatures. And to get my head around it initially as an untrained musician, I hadn't had any training. It's just, it was very difficult. And then when you get your head around it, it's beautiful and you can't get it out of your head. But yeah, that's kind of our two. I didn't take any training for music, so I fell into it because of Adam, and then I realised that
you loved it.
Yeah, and I love writing songs and I love writing lyrics, and I find them somewhere and it comes. I don't try very hard. I'm not one of these songwriters that writes a song every day. My output is not prolific, but when it does happen, it happens very quickly and naturally,
organically.
So that's why it's taken us such a long time to get an album together.
No, but I think that's like for songwriters, like in Nashville, there are other staff songwriters, and that's what they do from 9 to 5.
Yep.
They'll get in a room and they'll have a meeting with this songwriter, and then 2 hours later they'll have a meeting with another one, and it's quite like sometimes maybe the quality might, because they're just kind of like, writing for the purpose of writing. They're not writing because they feel something, or it's
for sure.
Because when I watch you two perform, you get lost in the music. You get like taken away, and you kind of see it. Sometimes you close your eyes.
Yeah, I close them a lot when I'm singing.
I see that, like, and I'm like, that's like, because I know that some people think that closing your eyes because you're not engaging with the audience, but I always think that when an artist closes their eyes, they're getting lost in the music, and they're getting lost in that song, and they're getting lost in the moment, and then they're expressing their true feeling of that song, and they're not having to like.
Yeah, you're so right. I think there's some songs where you want the performance and the bravado and to get people in, and then there's other songs where that just isn't required. And if you've so carefully laboured over every word because it means so much to you, that should be enough. And the song will do the speaking. The eyes, the actions, the dance moves, that's irrelevant for us when you are playing a song like The Hope Comes Again. I don't feel like I need to do anything else. I just hope that people will feel that it's pure honesty.
Speed, that's a great introduction to singing that.
Yeah, well, we can play that one tonight.
I've never played this one acoustically, have I?
It's I put our cap on 7 to play this one.
Okay. Up here. Yeah.
Oh, you know just where I've been, hidden down beneath this skin. And the waves, the thunder, they've drawn me under again. The less you ask, the less you'll know. An empty glass and a funny joke. Well, it's ordinary that I can't bury my load, and I'm just sitting in the moment. Hope the moment never ends. If I get tired of the hoping, then the hope comes again. Well, it draws me in and it casts me out. I have not been down here in a while, but on my shoulder the monkey smolders and smiles, and I'm just sitting in the moment. Hope the moment never ends. If I get tired of the hoping, then the hope comes again. The hope comes again. Hope comes again. The hope, the hope, the hope comes again. The hope comes again. And I'm just sitting in the moment, and I hope the moment never ends. If I get tired of the hoping, then the hope comes again. So find yourself someone to cope with. Hold 'em close like it's the end. If you're lost in the moment, then the hope comes again. The hope comes again.
Something like that.
Love that song. You released that during COVID, wasn't it?
We did.
Yeah.
2020 you released it.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Was it written during COVID or was it written before?
I'm trying to think now. That was really quick. We recorded that at home. We didn't go to a fancy studio. And so from writing to demo to recording it, and then it was like 6 weeks, all done in my flat at home. So yeah, that would have been during
Even more
COVID.
impressive, so.
Yeah, well, the production's really simple, so it didn't require a big studio, so it was very doable at home.
Yeah, it was.
With our skill set, and then a chap that we worked with in Bristol called James, and he helped us out on recording, and it was just really easy.
Oh, it's just a beautiful song. It's just beautiful sentiment.
Yeah, it's
Deep but beautiful.
Well, thank you.
yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, it means a lot to us, that song.
What inspired it? First, was it COVID or was it like? Was there?
No, it's like everyone has their own independent versions of struggle, and none of us really know what everyone else is dealing with unless you tell them. And I think it's about how, like myself, I consider myself very blessed with having an amazing family around me and friends and everything like that, and also not being a sufferer of mental health too badly, but obviously it affects everyone to a certain extent, and everyone's version of that is also different, and mine is deep-rooted anxiety, and that song is about that. And so is Rosanna.
When you're tired of the hoping, the hope comes again.
That was what I was meant to say. The reason I'm blessed is when that does happen, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. For me. I know some people there isn't, but for me there is, and that's why that song is about that. I'm always like, but it'll be okay tomorrow.
Lost in a moment and you're tired of hoping,
Yeah.
and then the hope comes again. It's just like, yeah. Or even if you are struggling so much, maybe there's maybe hope that things might change, things might. Because
Definitely.
you hear that all the time. It's like things will get better.
Yeah.
And you go through, and it's that old adage where if you go through something that makes you stronger, and then you think, well, sometimes it doesn't make people stronger. Sometimes it's just like, oh, come on, enough. Do you know, there's that kind of side of it. But those particular lyrics, you're lost in the moment and you're tired of the hope, and then the hope comes again. It's like kind of keeps you going.
Yeah.
It's one of those like.
The idea came from somebody said to us, like an analysis of our songs, and they said that Hope is a huge. Well, actually, one of our songs, I called it Hope on our first ever record. It's like an interlude, but Hope is such a huge part of the songwriting, and it's because I just always feel like we're looking and hoping certain things are going to happen. It's just Hope's a huge emotion for us. Melancholy and hope is a huge thing, and that's why that song was easy to write.
That's just one of my favourite songs. I know you're not like fully country, but because this is the British Country Music Festival, and we have been discussing country music and where the genre stops and starts and the blurs and lines. Where do you see like the definition of country? What do you define as country music, and how do you kind of appreciate British country music scene, and how do you see that growing and developing from now and the next maybe 5-10 years?
In terms of country music, I just see country music as like an honest song. Basically, it's a song that people can relate to. The lyrics can be relatable quite instantly. It's not this. You can dress a country song up, but you don't have to at the same time. And you see that in the audiences as well, that they just can relate to a track by listening to the lyrics and go, yeah, I get that. I think that relates to me or my life or someone else's life that I know. So that's what I see country music as, basically. And then, the more modern country that maybe those songwriters in Nashville that churn songs out. I mean, you listen to those songs because they are upbeat bangers.
Yeah.
Let's put it like that. But last Saturday we were lucky enough to spend an afternoon in having a few beers with Bob Harris in his back garden. And he...
What, mouth for you?
There you go.
Yeah, they were for a name drop out there.
There you go, I thought I'd say it.
Bob Harris.
He...
And, that deserves a high five to all of you.
But he was playing us some country music on his phone, and it was Brett Young. And he was and we asked him how he puts his show together now, and he said that I need something upbeat and really positive and happy, and there was a Brett Young song that was like that, and then there was another Brett Young song that wasn't like that, and he said I see he needs upbeat stuff for the show, and then he needs downbeat stuff for the show, and it was just like an honest. That's how emotion is felt, basically.
I also asked him what his opinion was about this, the new kind of introduction of a lot of people into the country music world that came maybe from a more commercial pop world, and his response was incredible, and it shows that he's a true lover of music, which was just that if the music's good, the music's good. So I asked him about Post Malone, and he said he didn't listen to Post Malone before, but the new stuff, he loves it, and he embraces it, and he welcomes it.
Did you ask him about Beyonce?
No, he did. He mentioned Texas, didn't he?
Yeah, he loved Beyonce.
mentioned Texas. So
he loved that Shabuzi song as well.
Yeah, he's a huge. I think if someone like that, who is so steeped in history and accreditation in that space, is willing to welcome and open arms to new music that ultimately is doing that, then I think other people should as well.
But see, he's like Bob Harris is probably like up there in terms of like people that artists. I want you to play my country song. But Bob Harris himself is probably one of the most humblest, down to earth,
amazing man,
people you could ever meet.
Yeah,
nothing like. There's no ego about him. There's no airs or graces or anything. He just is who he is, and I think
absolutely
that's
such a wonderful man.
I think that makes him more special in that fact that when he actually adores an artist, he adores an artist. Do you know what I mean?
It's because he's an artist himself. The way that he crafts, the way that he crafts. Sorry, I should have explained.
Not music artist.
No.
He's not going to come out and join you in a song.
He's not. But the way he crafts his show is like the way that a band crafts a live set. He thinks about it so deeply, and the flow of his show. It's very musical the way that he makes his show running order.
Yeah.
And when we saw that for the first time, we realised this guy is so connected to music on every single level that's probably why he's got so much respect for it and artists.
And I think with regards to what you said about the British scene, festivals like this, we played Black Deer as well this year.
Yeah.
Played the Long Road Festival last year. I mean, it's, the platforms are
You
there.
played the
now.
West Country Music Festival as well.
West, yeah, we were there.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
The platforms that are there for artists now to go and do it, it's just, it's amazing.
and the audiences as well. I would
Yeah,
say even more
class.
importantly, the audiences are so they just listen.
Yeah.
And
Really
they are attentive and they appreciate the songs and stuff, and I think that's really special. We've played a lot of shows in a lot of genres,
Yeah.
and when we start leaning into the more commercial world, you realise that it's quite cutthroat. People don't listen as much, and people in the country music scene, they care about the music so much that they
for
listen
sure.
to the songs.
Yeah.
A lot of artists saying that, yeah. I think a lot of Americans that come over, that's what they say, because the American audiences don't always listen because there's too much chat and stuff.
Yeah.
But they do, that's what they love. They hear, they think, well, why is everyone so quiet?
Yeah.
Then they realise, oh, they're actually listening to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're singing it back,
For sure.
and they're like, they're astounded to, like.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm going to finish now with a fun game. It's called, it's not too scary, honestly. It's called This or That.
Okay.
So now there's two of you. You might have debates, but that's all right. That's the way it goes. So it's a choice of two things, and we'll start with love or money.
Love.
Love.
Everyone chooses love. It's great. Isn't it? Although the best, I have to say this ever because it was the best response ever. Gareth Nugent said, "I love money."
Yeah.
Very good. Very clever.
Yeah.
Good on him.
Two birds with one stone. Yeah. Very good. Should have said that.
Singing or guitar?
Guitar.
Singing.
I sing with my guitar.
So do I. Actually.
Ooh.
Actually, yeah, both. See, that's singing. Yes, you know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Playing Gareth Nugent's game.
Yeah. Beat that, Nugent.
The gauntlet is down if you're watching this, Gareth. The gauntlet is down. That's a cool answer though, because like I think through this a lot of artists actually say singing like quickly, and I think a lot of people don't really like a lot of artists that think, oh, I don't play an instrument, forget that the voice is actually the most original instrument you have, and you can do so much with it. You can like the emotion in it, and you can probably express more emotion possibly in your voice than maybe like a guitar or a piano or a saxophone or something. So the fact that you say you sing with the guitar is pretty deep, man.
Thank you very much.
Clever lad, this one, eh?
Oh, I'm telling you.
Not just the face.
That's a good brother there,
Yeah.
Have you been to the Winter Gardens much? Have you ever been in the ballroom?
This is the first time in Blackpool ever.
We have been in the ballroom, you've just said.
Yeah.
But you haven't been in the arena stage, so
No.
that question might not work for you too, because if you've never been in the arena, you don't know what it looks like.
No. No, we've never been to Blackpool before.
No, so we arrived at 8:30 this morning, and it was our first. We left Bristol at 5, and we had a show last night in Bristol. So this is our first time in Blackpool. We're going to go and see the Eiffel Tower, effectively the
Blackpool Tower.
Eiffel
on the-
Tower.
Yeah.
Well, we
Paris
say
on the
France
sea.
or we say France or Blackpool, the Eiffel Tower or the Blackpool Tower. I'll
Right.
go with that.
Mm.
You can choose between those two.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna maybe harder questions now. Let's see where you go with these.
Test.
Right, you ready?
Time.
Maybe he already knows or Chained to Love.
Maybe you already know.
Live Chained to Love.
Ooh.
Gives me an option to flip my hair around.
There's a reason why he's growing that out. He wanted to get. He wanted to
How
get
can
that
you?
out.
There's not much flip. There's not much flip.
No, it's just this.
We should have seen it on Thursday night. His girlfriend straightened his hair. He had like a proper hairdressing night.
Yeah,
I'll show you the
she's
photo
been
when it's
dying
finished.
to straighten it, and I eventually caved and said yes, and I looked like I just.
We need a photo. Have you got a photo
I
of
think
this?
I have, yeah.
It was like I'm trying to think of something that you looked like, but everyone that I'm thinking of looked better than what I look like.
Oh, I can't load it, unfortunately.
Oh,
because
what
it's
a shame.
connecting.
No, what a shame.
It will
that is.
connect. Don't worry. You carry on
Maybe
talking.
next time. Maybe next time.
He just wants to embarrass you, doesn't he?
Yeah, it does.
Brotherly love and all that.
Yeah.
Hits like lightning or make a move.
Hits like that.
Yeah, hits like lightning. I would probably say, but it's pretty close that because "Make a Move" I feel was the first song that started to shift a few things for us.
It was the first time we'd made music like that, but we wrote Hits Like Lightning together, and I think it's a better song.
Cool.
Cool.
That's that then.
Okay, I'm not going to choose if Rosanna live or Rosanna. Rosanna or One of These Days.
Rosanna.
Yeah, I would probably say Rosanna, but I mean, yeah, I'd probably say Rosanna.
But he wrote One of These Days, and I wrote Rosanna. So.
Ooh!
I think the reason I'm thinking
We believe it's a domestic happening.
One of These Days was the first national radio play, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
That we ever got.
Yeah.
So I got that in my head as well. But you know, there we go.
They are both good songs. Special.
Yeah.
The Hope Comes Again or 1 Minute.
I would say 1 minute.
I would say, I'm going to say 1 minute.
A lot of meaning behind that song, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
Which is... Now I'm going to ask what the meaning behind that song is.
It's like it's basically like a 1 minute long autobiography.
1 minute what?
Autobiography, basically. I just did it as
Ooh.
a 1 minute conscious train of thought
Yeah.
about everything that's happened and things. Yeah, there's a lot of kind of alludes to a lot of things that's happened to me. My close friends and family understand it. So yeah, that's a special one.
Go very deep guy. You've got A Friend at Me or The Old Fire Station.
The old
fire station. Yeah, I think so.
But that was a great period of time as well.
Yeah, that was fun recording that EP, wasn't it?
We worked with Miles, a guy called Miles, and he's awesome. We don't get to see him as much anymore,
No.
but that whole period of time was amazing.
Yeah.
And Fade, there's only one left on here. Faded, but like there's nothing to choose it with, so you can just take
Faded
it.
just faded. It was a good song.
Yeah.
It is a good song.
Yeah, did its thing for us, didn't
I
it?
felt like that was the first time we actually professionally recorded, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In a recording studio, and
That was
yeah.
before we were even like a business, and Adam paid for that all out of his own money.
Yeah, I fought back for that. Never got that back, actually.
Didn't actually ever get that back.
All royalties are towards Lawrence as well for that, because he wrote it. But then really, I should be getting some sort of split, shouldn't I?
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
mental, isn't it? That doesn't happen.
Crazy.
I'll look into that.
Does it get challenging? Because I know I did say that, but does it get challenging because you're brothers and your family, so you see each other all the time?
Oh,
Is there a time you think, just go and F off and leave me the hell alone for 5 minutes,
yeah.
please, brother?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's,
I feel like that was directed towards him and not me.
It was directed at both of you. I was just kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
responding to what you said.
if I put this, then you'll probably understand that we loaded it out into my house with all of our gear from a show last night at 11:30, and my alarm went off this morning at 5 to 5, and he went back to his flat, and we met again 4.5 hours later to load up to come up to Blackpool, and the drive this morning, there wasn't a lot said, especially when you're in a service station on Stafford North, and I just sat there going, right then, cool, all right.
It's a lot of time together. We only live 2 roads away from each other
Yeah.
as well. In central Bristol, we also live close to each other as well. So it's like,
So you're always together, basically.
well, we choose to socialise together as well.
That's mad, isn't it?
We go for pints.
That's actually quite cool, though.
Yeah.
That's, you choose to socialise together.
Yeah.
we do.
That says a lot.
Yeah.
You choose to socialise.
It's good. It's good. It's got a lot. As it's become more professional over the years as well, it's become a lot easier in that sense.
Yeah, and the age gap has
Age gap.
gotten better.
Yeah.
When we first started, I think it was really noticeable that Adam was like a young adult and I was a little twerp that annoyed him all the time.
You've got to remember that our first festival that we ever played, the first festival that you ever played or went to
Yeah,
was Glastonbury.
yeah,
Wow.
That was our first ever festival as a band.
Played.
Yeah.
yeah.
And we got
That's
like
pretty.
a Land Rover into stage from Glastonbury and Lawrence. Like, this is class. This is brilliant. And I'd been to Glastonbury as a punter. I was like, this is not what Glastonbury's like. And so that was a period where you were 17, I'm 5 years older,
Gee.
and
I was thinking, this music is a piece. It's just so easy.
You must have been in your element at
Oh,
17.
yeah. And then
Jeez,
the humbling that came out
yeah,
from that.
It's not. You can't really go higher than Glastonbury though. Like
No,
when you've
yeah.
played Glastonbury, you're like Glastonbury is
Yeah.
like the top of a festival.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it on the Thursday as well, and
Yeah.
What a start.
so because there wasn't any of the music on, we had the
A
most
big
ridiculous audience, and I came away from that thinking like,
This is great, man.
Yeah.
I don't know why everyone says it's so hard for. It's so easy.
Yeah.
When did you come back to reality?
Oh, like, the following
2
week.
days ago?
No, the following week we played another festival, and I think our dad was the only person watched us on a hay bale, and that was.
Welcome to the Moho Session hashtag. We're taking it on the road.